I would encourage you to perhaps plug your nose. Must have been quite an explosion to earn you a spot down here. Many innocents killed, I hope. Don't worry, it gets worse.
Come to me, my children.
Greetings, and welcome to Crucible of Fate, Episode 14, Part 1. I am your host and killer DM, David Carter. Before we get into the show, I just want to say that if you want any information on the rules or the format of the show, you want to learn how to become a contestant, or you want any information on how to support the show, I've got links to all of that in the video description and in the comment that's pinned down below. Okay, with that out of the way, we're ready to begin. I hope you guys enjoy the show. All right, welcome to the Crucible, to my episode 14 contestants. It's time to get to know each and every one of you. So we're going to start the top left with Richard.
Hello, my name is Richard. I've been playing D&D since the early 80s, Basic Edition on through 3.5, and then I took a break. In 2020, I was diagnosed with stage 4 lymphoma, and as of this show, I've been cancer-free for 30 months. But while I was lying in bed recovering from chemo, I kept looking at my old D&D books, and so I got involved in things again, started playing 5th edition, started playing the fall of 2020. And during that time, I actually am also a co-organizer for a group called Play Cancer Away. And it is a group that provides a safe community that allows patients and their supporters to enjoy gaming as an escape from dealing with their illness. And so I'm glad to be here, and I'm looking forward to having a lot of fun tonight.
Well, glad to have you here as well, Richard, and glad to hear that you're cancer-free, and definitely want to get those links to the work that you've been doing so that we can spread the word and see if others want to help out and get involved.
Appreciate it.
All right, next up we have Ken.
Hi, my name is Ken. I'm currently living in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I'm a semi-retired DJ. For about 40 years, I still go out and do shows, but mostly just enjoying quiet time now. I've been playing D&D since 1982, mostly as a player, but some DMing. Mostly been with the same group overall at that time, although I was with other groups as I lived in other parts of the country. I also participated in the Adventure League here in Bethlehem, which for a while, before COVID, was the largest Adventure League night in the world. I've been playing 5e for about 7 years, actually back with the original group, and I'm looking forward to meeting your characters and wish you all good luck.
Awesome. Glad to have a player with your experience, and wish you luck in the games ahead.
Thank you.
Jessie, a fellow Ottawa native.
Hi, I'm Jessie, full-time mom and caregiver for my husband of 20 plus years. We started playing D&D back in the late 90s with version 3. Played for a couple of years and then a long break until COVID hit, and then we decided, let's get back into it because watching TV's boring. And since then, I play Pathfinder, Aliens, Star Wars. I'm in 4 play-by-post games and 3 online as well.
What you're saying is you like gaming.
I'm a bit of an addict right now.
Good. Well, I'm glad that your addiction has led you to Crucible of Fate, and happy to have you here with us tonight. Right, next up we have Michael Rusko.
Hello out there, Michael Rusko. In the YouTube world, I go by just Rusko. I've been playing for 22 years-ish. Started in 3rd edition, and I played 4th edition for about 13 minutes, then waited for 5th. I am the co-creator and host of my own YouTube show called Die Inspired, and I came on Crucible Fate to test my mettle and see what kind of craziness David can throw at me. I'm excited to be here. It's been awesome being a part of the Discord and just watching this show. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous, but pretty excited to to see where the dice take us. That was a shameless plug, David. She caught that.
All good, man, and I'm glad you're here. I'm excited to have you on the show. I've checked out Die Inspired a bunch. I think it's an excellent show, and it's great that we've kind of found each other with this competitive approach to D&D that kind of feel like, well, I wouldn't say we're pioneers, but maybe a resurgence in competitive D&D. So yeah, man, I look forward to.
You can definitely say we're pioneers.
All right, we're pioneers. And hopping across the pond to Michael.
Hi, I'm Michael. I'm from Switzerland, and I've been playing D&D like 5-ish years, not so continuously. But when I'm not playing D&D or hanging out with my friends, I'm building up concerts and tearing down concerts. I work as a stagehand or as a pyrotechnician, so they pay me to blow stuff up, so I can't complain.
Awesome, man. That sounds like a really fun job. Welcome to the show.
It's dangerous, but it's fun.
Yeah, good. Well, I hope you can blow some stuff up here tonight.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Okay, last but not least, Fred.
Hi, I'm Freddie. I'm from Tennessee. I've been playing since around 1982. Started out with the Red Box, played AD&D and 2E. And then I got real busy with work. Didn't really play 3 or 4E. And in 2017, some of my old D&D buddies called me and said, hey, we want to have a reunion. We hadn't played together in years. And so in 2017, we got together, played a game. We thought it was just going to be a one shot. And we've been playing about twice a month ever since. So it's been fun. I'm looking forward to today. I'm excited to be here. And I expect today to be a lot of fun, regardless of how it goes. Good luck to everyone.
Excellent. Welcome to the show, Freddie. Definitely glad to have you here. Okay, with the introductions of our players out of the way, we're gonna jump to the trailer, everyone, and when we come back, we'll be at the Fate's Hand Tavern in character, kicking things off. Okay, we'll see you in a minute.
It's time. Bring them. Offer them riches, offer them glory. I don't care. Just bring me their souls.
As you wish, Master.
Yes.
You think you have what it takes? Every roll can mean life or death. 120 contestants. Who will survive? Who will win? It could be you. This is high stakes D&D.
Consciousness creeps back to you all as the soft glow of a dim blue light illuminates the area where all of the contestants remain. You can now see once again that even more gaps have appeared in the circle of contestants for those that have fallen within the games of the Crucible. You see Dreg standing in the center of the circle, his head bowed and his feet kind of spread shoulder length, his hands behind his back, and he starts to do a bit of a slow circle, seemingly looking at each of you from behind his cold metal mask. As he completes his circle, you hear his gravelly voice call out, "For those of you who will be competing tonight, I wish you the best of luck. Keep in mind that the only one here that you can trust is yourself. People may lie, people may cheat. Be very careful who you place any degree of trust in. Face the games with courage and honor. Don't run, or me and the hunters will be coming after you, and I guarantee you will not like that." At this point, he pulls out a scroll from within his cloak, kind of unravels it with both hands and begins to scan down on the list of names. From the point where I call out your names, you are on your own. Shake the cobwebs away, get rid of that rust. From that point on, you must protect yourselves at all times. Tonight's contestants are Havoc, Erdine Ivusar, Jinzik Lugit, Angor the Gentle, Oridon, and Bona Bakwa. And all of you, as your names are called out, you feel whatever magic or enchantment that is holding you in place elevated above the ground. It releases as you drop the 6 inches to a foot of space, landing on your feet and feeling that you now have control once again of your bodies. As you scan around and start to take stock of those that you will be competing against and perhaps even working with, you also become very much aware of the 1,365 pairs of eyes that are now upon you, also known as the Eyes of Truth. One pair of those eyes makes its way forward out of the shadows, and as it emerges from the darkness that now begins to shift into the elements of the Fate's Hand Tavern, you see the host of the Crucible of Fate, Thermgul. Thank you, Dregs. You always sound so dramatic, but I'm sure that the contestants appreciate your words of advice, for, as you all know, your lives are now in mortal peril. And I welcome you here in my home and my place of business, the Fate's Hand Tavern. And I trust that each and every one of you will do their best to entertain all of my many guests here. I am sorry to inform you that at least one of you will die in each game, likely, although we've had a few unfortunate incidents where all of you have survived. But for the most part, things tend to progress according to a certain plan of mine. So in advance, I just say, keep your heads up. Be proud. Be courageous. For the story that will be told about what will happen here tonight is but the beginning of the epic tale that at least one of you will have at the end of this thing. And looking back, this is but the first step of greatness for you. Who knows, perhaps one of you 6 is my champion. That would be nice, huh? But enough from me. I know that our audience here grows anxious to learn more about each and every one of you, so I will give you 2 minutes to tell us a bit about yourselves in order. This will help with all the betting and sizing you up and determining who's probably the weakest out of all of you and who may be the strongest. And I mean no offense by this, but time will tell. So, first, Havoc. You have 2 minutes.
You all see a large, long-haired, muscular human man, well over 6.5 feet tall, step forward into the light. He's got a leather skirt with cloth wrappings. He's got a bear hide shoulder pads and blackened metal breastplate. You can't fail to see several scars all over his body. He wields a large sword He has hand axes, several pouches, and some javelins. He steps casually up, looks over the contestants in the eyes, and says in a deep voice, "I am Havoc, son of the fallen dragon bearer, emissary for the Cape Bear clan. My clan risked desolation for an attack by an alliance of stone giants and orcs. And were it not for the trickery of a cowardly wizard, I would be leading my allies this very moment to my clan's defense. I may not be a very smart man, but I am an angry man, and I'm here to get home. I view you all as nothing more than another challenge to overcome to avenge my father's death and ensure the very survival of my clan."
Strong words from our first contestant. Welcome to the games, Havoc, and sorry to inconvenience. But hey, you have an opportunity to prove yourself to your clan here as well, huh? Erdine, Ivusar.
Imasar is dressed in fine red and gold spider silk robes with a blue hat and pants of the same material. They're not the robes of an adventurer, but more like presentational attire for a museum or a gallery, temple, or a learning institution. There's a smallish backpack beside him. He is in the process of removing his robe, and now that you're closer, you can see a plethora of small cuts, stabs, scars, burns, and other healed injuries all over his exposed skin. He has seen some mileage. He stands about 5'7", weighs 117, long silver gray hair and beard coiffed in an equally presentational way as his robes. In human terms, he looks like he's about 60. He's made a concentrated effort to stay fit, however, as he's well past his prime. When he sees everyone, he looks up and starts to speak. "Oh, hello, my name is Ibosar of the Brood Erdine. You may call me Eve. I know how I got here, but I do not belong here. I am only a cook and an archivist, or insert a Candlekeep-like entity, such on Shadow's Night. And have been promoted to assistant curator in the Underdark Antiquities. I gave up adventuring decades ago. I lost too many friends and nearly died more than once myself. It seems now that I must rely on what little skills I have left if I want to see my children again." And he steps back.
I truly do hope you get to see your children again, Ivusar.
Not here.
Not the most about.
I know how your mind works, demon.
We do have an orphanage. It's fully stocked. We take great care of our children down here. You never know when they'll be needed or how much we can sell them for. I appear to have offended you, Usar. Perhaps it's best if we move on with Jinzik Lucit.
As the field lets go, you see a rather tiny, about 3'4" forest gnome tuck into a roll and pop up like a jack-in-the-box. She's got flaming red hair tied back in a braid with bright yellow eyes. She's darkly tanned and wears studded leather black vest, black leather pants with blackened soft-soled leather boots. She's got a short sword on her hip, short bow across her back, quiver on the other hip, and 2 daggers in the tops of her boots, and couple heavy loaded 2 pouches hanging from the back of her belt. And she just pops up, looks around, waves at the eyes, and goes, "Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the show."
See, there you go. That's the way people should greet this thing, with a bit of enthusiasm and positivity. I appreciate that, Jinzik. Welcome to the Crucible of Fate. Angor, the gentle. You don't look very gentle, I might add.
Fair. Of obvious orc descent, Angor is quite large, standing over 6.5 feet tall. His armor is battle-worn, military-issued scale mail. His wooden shield is marred from several battles. His skin is heavily scarred from what would most likely be burns. Angor's most predominant feature is his bright red mohawk and red face paint. Angor raises his head to address you all. I was born a slave to the warring Undad orcs. I never knew my mother, but I was told she had red hair. I made my escape in the night and was captured by the king's army. I swore an oath to my king and to Paleon in exchange for a chance to kill Undad orcs. After years of fighting, my king grew to trust me and made me one of his knights. When the war was won and we destroyed the orcs, I was gifted a small farm to raise a family with my red-haired wife, Abeline. An orc named Bragak, who had taken over as chief of what was left of the Undad orcs, came to call some 15 years later. He crushed my youngest daughter, Kiri, in front of me. The last words from her lips were cries for help to her father. I begged for the lives of my wife and 8 remaining daughters. They tied me to a tree and piled the firewood I was splitting at my feet. They used my splitting axe on my Abeline, and my girls cried out. Bragak promised to eat my little Kiri. When he had no use for them, he would eat the rest of my girls. The slave girls of Angor the Gentle, he mocked. As they were carried away, the flames around me started to take me. A voice offered me a chance to save my family. All I would have to do is be the last one standing at a game or a contest. So here I am, trying to get back to where I'm from. And with that, Angor lowers his head in shame, adjusting the shield on his arm.
Wow, that is quite the tale. It seems that a bit of divine intervention has brought you before us, Angor. It seems that this next phase in your life is a bit better than what has transpired previously. That is heavy stuff. I hope that you earn the opportunities to see your daughters again. But that will take quite a bit of work. Starting in a few minutes. Ordon.
First thing the Eye of Truth and the co-contestants see is that Ordon catches like a necklace and it's like, yes, finally we can touch it again. And then you see he has grayish skin because he is a scorched Aasimar, and he has a mask on, like the Venetian mask, but where you only see the eyes. They are blue, greenish eyes. No, wait. Yes, something like that. A sky blue. And he has a cloak on that is like a strange material. Looks kind of like plastic, but it's kind of strange. He also has a telescope on his waist, and you see some bottles, some scrolls, also 2 hand axe, and a tantan, a tambourine. And yeah, he looks at all of you and says, well, what should we say? We caused an it was an accident, so we are paying our debts. That's why we're here. Nice to meet you, all of you.
An accident? What happened, Ordon?
Things got explosives.
Must have been quite an explosion to earn you a spot down here. Many innocents killed, I hope.
We are just trying to repay our debts.
I guess in time, you will stand before Xenaros and see what the scales will say. But perhaps being down here, you can even the load of your past transgressions. Bona Bakwa.
Bona is an elf. He's a Shadowkai. He's wearing, he has long white hair pulled back into a ponytail. He's about 6'2", weighs about 200 pounds. His eyes are dark, almost black. His eyes are attentive, as if he's studying everyone and taking their measure, including Tharamgul. He's dressed mostly in black. He's wearing dark chainmail armor, has a black hooded cloak. On his lapel, he has a silver pin. It's a sun over a crescent moon. He's wearing a dark gray tunic. He's got a warhammer. He's carrying a shield, depicting a yellow sun over a blood-red crescent moon on a deep purple field. There's an amulet around his neck. It's the symbol of Ulra, if people are familiar with religion in this place. He's wearing high black leather boots. He has pouches built with slots for scrolls and potions. And he looks up at Tharamgul and he says,
You know, Tharamgul, I have fought several battles where I could have been killed. But there have been 2 times in my life where I should have been killed and I was helpless to do anything about it. I've asked myself why I was spared. That is a mystery that I've been trying to figure out. I've come to the conclusion that it had to be Ura who's been watching over me, protecting and preparing me for this very moment. I didn't know why I'd been brought here, but now I believe I do. In my past, though not directly responsible, I had a hand in the death of a good man. For the mercy I was shown, I owe a debt, a life, my life. Every day I try to live my life to be as good as the man whose life was wasted, a task I will never succeed at. Yet every day I try. As I think back, I believe I recall a previous contestant, or should I say a victim of your insane game, a Lieutenant Matthias Crow, that laid charges of crimes against you, crimes that you did not deny. In my stasis, as I watched the events that transpired, my purpose became clear to me. I am a Shadow Knight with the Sons of Twilight. I now believe that I am here to aid Lieutenant Matthias Crow and others like him to bring about your destruction and the end of this madness. You will soon learn, Tharamgul, that I am a fine enemy. Others will learn that I am an even better ally. But if I fail and my life is lost, I have fulfilled my debt with the life that I owe, knowing that it wasn't good enough, but that I did my best.
How very noble of you, Bona. I do not doubt that you have the best of intentions in your warped mind, but please do be always aware that servitude to that witch Ulra may not be in your best interest. You're but a pawn in her game, as you have seen by some of the poor souls that have been warped by their servitude to her, abandoned and driven insane. I would say that I hope that this does not happen to you, but aligning yourself with Matthias Crow, aiming at my destruction, well, how can I be wishing you the best of luck? In fact, I hope that you fall during this game and are an example for Matthias Crow and others that would follow him. The rest of you, I wish you the best of luck. But Bona, I hope you die well.
I can understand your sentiment.
Very well. Now that we have gotten to know each of you a little better and we understand perhaps why you are here or what your intentions are, I will now permit you a bit more time to interact with one another, and I encourage you to take advantage of this next 5 minutes, for it may be the last time that you converse with a group of sentient beings. And I can say, depending on who acquires your soul, you may find the conversation lacking for the rest of eternity. So, if any of you are a bit quiet and kind of hang back and don't want to really put yourself out there, then I will give you some time at the end to say something, should you wish to do so. But for now, you have 5 minutes to converse amongst yourselves while we all stare at you, listening intently to every word that escapes from your mouths. Proceed.
Havoc steps forward, looks over the group, looks in the direction of Ordon and goes, so many colors. I'm just going to call you Clown. Looking over at Boner, quickly says, you're Shadow. He goes, looks over at Angor and says, so big and green and thorny, like a cactus. And then looks down and says, looks at Jinzik and kind of looks down and says, tiny like a peanut. And finally looks at Iv and goes, I'm just going to call you Papa Smurf.
I am honored by your nickname. Thank you very much.
Borodin looks at Hawk and says, well, Clown sounds good. Star would be better. We thank them. I need to remember to say that we and stuff. That's difficult.
Angor, for his part, after all the nicknaming has been done, will point directly at Havoc and ask, first, do you condemn Virillion in the path of darkness?
I have no idea who you're talking about.
And second, do you adhere to the tenets of Paleon in the path of righteousness?
Ditto.
That's not a yes or a no.
I am not aware of either of those.
And we are not enemies, and fate will decide our paths for us.
That it will.
I take it this means you are indeed a worshipper of Paleon.
Yes, devout worshipper of Paleon.
Honorable. Thank you.
Are you, or do you condemn Virillion in the path of darkness?
I don't need a path of darkness. Life is dark all by itself.
Do you adhere to the tenets of Paleon in the path of righteousness?
Righteousness is a trap. We must be open to different situations, but I have no quarrel with Paleon.
We are not enemies. Fate will decide our paths for us.
Jinzink hops around, giggling, taking a look at everyone, and she looks up at Havoc and goes, love the fur! Where'd you get it? Before she quickly turns and looks over at Eve and goes, you're a smart one, Silver Fox. And she looks up at Angor and goes, love the hair. She flips her red braid over her shoulders. And she's like bouncing around everyone, weaving in and out, like she's looking at what everyone's carrying and checking out what's visible. And she stops at Uridan and goes, love the mask. Did you make it yourself?
Yes, we did.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. Like she's constantly moving in and out. And then she looks up at the eyes and goes, this is gonna be fun.
Angor will take a knee, and you remind me of my little Curie, about the same size. Do you condemn Virillion in the path of darkness?
Don't know, but if you want help killing him later, if we both make it through, I'll be there for you.
Do you adhere to the tenets of Paleon and the path of righteousness?
No, don't really believe in many gods. There's only one person I follow, and he's a real person, so.
Listen, we are not enemies. Fate will decide for us our paths.
Sounds good. And she just starts giggling.
Anything Bona wants to say?
I wish everyone good luck. Wish we could all survive this, but I know only 3 of us will. So, have no ill will against anyone here. I wish you all the best of luck.
Angor would like to chime in again. I believe that you do adhere to the tenets of Paleon and the path of righteousness.
Very much.
Then you are my ally, and I will not strike you.
And you are mine.
Well, with that, our time has expired. Pieces on the board are moving already. These should be interesting intermission actions. I'm sure they will be filled with plotting against one another. If you are sitting alone in the waiting room with no one talking to you, I would be scared at that point that perhaps you are being conspired against. But now, before we get to the intermission action order, I would like to review all of the items that are available in our gift shop for the very low price of rolls on the wheel of consequence. These can be very minimal impacts to you. Some can be major. But the items themselves may help you quite a bit tonight, that is for sure. So, as he turns around and begins to kind of just glide a couple of steps backwards, the display cases of the gift shop apparate around him. And as your own positions shift a bit to give you a clear view of everything that is available within the tiered display cases, you can see in Tier 1 that the first item is a glass vial filled with colorless, transparent liquid. The second item is also a glass vial, however this one is filled with a translucent, green-tinted liquid. In Tier 2, another vial. This one filled with a transparent liquid, but within it you can see that a crescent moon shape slides through the liquid as the vial kind of spins in the air as it's being displayed for you. So this dark crescent moon shape is just sliding back and forth with gravity as the vial turns. Next in Tier 2 is a shield. This shield has many intricate angled grooves and designs that cover the surface. And with these designs, it gives the appearance that the shield is much thicker than it is. And it rotates around. You can see that it is just like a normal rounded shield. But when the face of it, or the protective side, is facing you, it looks to be much thicker with all of these strange designs and grooves on the surface. Finally, in Tier 3, you can see your armor if you're wearing any, and if you are not, you can see that there are bracers that are floating in the air. These bracers or armor, you can tell that they're made of adamantine and they're glowing with magical energy. And then lastly, a cloak or robe that shifts in both material and design according to your own desires is rotating around in front of you, but the constant element to this cloak or robe is the fact that it has eyes all over it that are constantly looking in all directions. And with that, folks, you have introduction to all of the items available at the gift shop. Of course, you're welcome to use your gold to make any purchases from standard equipment if you need so. But I trust that most of your gold has already been spent in your time before appearing here now. So with that, it is time to establish our initiative order. First up will be Havoc.
Ooh.
A 5. Next up, Ivusar. 19. Jinzik. A 10. Angor. A 19. That had a modifier of 4. Eve, what was your modifier? +2.
+2.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
In that case, I'm just going to drop Eve down to an 18, and the 19 slot will go to Angor or Dawn. 16. Bona.
Dave, I have an ability called Vigilant Blessing so that I can give myself advantage on an initiative roll.
Yep.
Is it okay if I use that?
Yeah.
And I rolled a 19.
Yep. Got it. So I will see each of you shortly. I'm going to put you all in the waiting room now, except for Bona. Greetings, Bona. It's pleasant to see you here. I know we got off on a bit of a wrong foot, but I do sincerely wish you luck. Perhaps your honorable intentions can be straightened out before the end for you, whichever that may be. What can I do for you for your intermission action?
I believe that I would like to parlay with Angor the Gentle.
Very well. I will grab him for you. Greetings, Angor. You have been summoned to a parley circle by Bona Bakwa. Do you accept or refuse his invitation?
Accept.
Very well. Then, Bona, you have 3 minutes, and it begins now.
Greetings, Angor. It's very nice to meet you. I believe we are both of like mind, and so I've chosen to parlay with you. And I know we spoke briefly earlier, and I think we have agreed to become allies, but I wanted to solidify that and extend my hand to you as an ally and vow to you that I will not turn against you. I will not cause you any harm. And I believe I can be of great help to you. I have skills that can keep you alive. Even if you go down, you will not stay down. As long as I am conscious and I have the power of spells within me, you will not go down and stay down. And I believe you would be a strong, strong ally. Would you like to accept that?
Well, it's quite simple. You're faithful to Belian, or at least her tenants. So, obviously, this is a great alliance. If you have the skill set to keep me fighting, then stand next to me, and I will keep the fight on me.
If you will, after each of your attacks, try to remain within 30 feet of me. I can provide you with extra life.
When the time comes and it's time for us to remove somebody from this game, it could be advantageous for us if you are fighting with me. Your distraction could give me great advantage in my attacks. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Was there anything in the shop that was of interest to you?
I considered going to the shop, but I actually thought it was more important to make an ally than it was to obtain an item. But I thought the shield was quite interesting, and the cloak. I wonder very much what that is, but really have no idea.
Understood.
Another question I might have for you. We need another to be an ally with us. Who would you consider one of the others as our ally?
Do not know yet. None are willing to admit they either follow the tenets of Paleon or travel down the path of darkness. I feel like they will reveal themselves.
Bordon, I believe, is a bard. He would have a bit of healing. I have healing. I believe you probably have some healing, so it would be good if we had that option. Whereas the rogue probably does not have much in the way of healing, and maybe not the barbarian. So
She reminds me.
I have nothing against those folks, but I'm just trying to
survive.
Yes.
And on that
Perhaps we can...
note, gentlemen, that is 3 minutes, and your parlay circle has come to an end, as has the intermission action of Bona. I will see you both momentarily. Greetings, Angor. It is your turn for your intermission action. What would you like to do?
I need to see the gift shop.
A bit of shopping today. Excellent. Please follow me. And as the Fate's Tavern dissipates into shadow, the gift shop apparates all around you. And so what will it be today, Angor? Some tiered items or more mundane purchases?
I have some mundane things that I like to purchase first.
Okay.
First, I need a 10-foot pole.
Okay.
And a ladder. And a grappling hook. And then and a rope, and I'll tie the rope to the grappling hook. And then a couple of potions. And that's it.
Very well. And your tiered items? Before we get to those, are you planning on wearing this ladder on your back? Or how are you going to carry it around?
I'm not going to bring it into the first game, but I have a feeling that the second game it could prove itself useful. If I die in the first game, I guess someone gets a free ladder.
Well, this place is in need of some repair. Perhaps I can put Dregs to work, although he can be a bit moody. I don't think he appreciates having to work for me. I don't know why. With those purchases out of the way, can I interest you in a tiered item or two, Angor?
Yes, let's just start at the bottom and work our way up to see what we can find. The tier 1, the glass vials, the clear liquid. Let's start there.
Very well. Would you like it just for the next game or for the whole episode?
For the whole episode.
Very well. And then, so too shall be your consequence. I need a d20 roll, please. -18. -2 wisdom. You are good with this?
Can't. I'm gonna use a face sphere on that.
You will. Very well. That is your first.
Wow. That too.
Again.
So you burn another
2.
Come on, dice.
Yeah. 8. Deafened. This item is a potion of acid resistance.
All right.
Would you like to drink it now?
And that will last the whole. Yeah, I'll just drink it now.
Okay. Very well. And any other purchases?
Yes, the green potion.
Very well. Another D20
vial.
roll, please.
Perfect.
Shamed. Charisma-based checks at disadvantage.
I'm already shamed.
No shame in that. Huh?
I'll keep that.
Okay. That one is also permanent. So this is a potion of poison resistance.
Okay.
And you are drinking this one
Might as well
now?
drink. Yeah, might as well drink that now.
Anything else for you?
Yes, the tier 2 vial.
Tier 2 vial. Okay, 2 rolls. Two. Poisoned. Your second roll, please. Eight. Hey, now you're twice as deaf.
Both ears.
But they do stack, so if you get rid of it once, you're still deaf.
Okay.
That is a potion of fire giant strength. So your strength is now 25 for the duration of the episode.
I'll drink that.
Okay, anything else?
Yeah, we're gonna go for broke here, Dave.
Okay.
All right, so the shield. I've never seen anything like it, and I have to have it.
Very well. First roll of 2 for the shield in tier 2.
Is that a 3 or a 17?
3. Hampered.
Can't do that. I'm going to reroll.
Okay.
Or Fate Sphere.
Third Fate Sphere used. 4. Arthritic. Physical checks are at disadvantage. So ability checks and skill checks. That would be...
Strength and dex-based checks, right? Yep. Yeah, I'll keep that.
And last roll.
Ooh, that's a heavy one.
10% of max and current HP.
I'll keep that.
Okay, and for you at level 3, what's your current hit points?
41, so it'll drop me down to 37.
4 off. This is an arrow catching shield. So you have +2 to AC against any ranged attacks against you. Okay, in addition, whenever an attacker makes a ranged attack against a target within 5 feet of you, you can use your reaction to become the target of the attack instead. That's what that one.
Okay, so if somebody's standing next to me, if there's a range attack, I can make myself the target? Yeah. That's a cool
Turning
thing.
your reaction, yeah.
All right. Cool.
Hey, half my shelves are empty, Angor. As are your fate spheres. Shall we continue, or are you finished?
Those armors, or that armor. I think it's worth the risk.
Okay. Go big or go home, huh? Or going for broke? I don't know what you say up there on the material plane. Let's have the first of 3.
And
a 6. Shamed.
I've been shamed before. Literally.
Next one. 16 -2 con.
Take that.
Okay. So that affects the hit points, obviously.
Dang.
Slowed.
It doesn't work for me.
4th Fate Sphere, that is?
Yep. Come on. I gotta have at least 2.
19.
Oh no.
You're just getting the proverbial shit kicked out of you here, huh? -2 charisma.
I can't do that one either. I gotta go down to 1 fate speed for all of this.
Ooh, damn. Okay.
You go big or go home.
Yeah, or spend
Or
eternity
go big and then
in
go
the
home.
abyss. Okay, let's have it.
Oh, I can afford that one.
-2 int. Okay. You are wearing armor currently, right?
Yeah, just mundane. But do I get to pick which armor this is?
So with this one, it's your current armor, but it becomes +1. And it's adamantine. And it's armor of force resistance. I only have 1 item left, Angor, but
I don't wear robes.
1 fate sphere left.
I don't wear robes. Robes are for girls.
Are you tapping out on the shopping?
Yeah, I gotta keep 1. I gotta keep 1 face fit.
That's a good call. Very well. Then I hope that this has been worthwhile for you. It certainly has been for me. I wish you the best of luck in the battle to come. Greetings, Evil Sar. It is your turn for your intermission action. What would you care to do?
I would like to visit your gift shop, please.
Very well. Fate's End Tavern fades away. The gift shop apparates all around you. And as you become adjusted to the display cases, you can see that the Tier 1 shelf is completely empty. The Tier 2 shelf is completely empty. And in Tier 3, the armor moat is gone. All that remains is the robe. Is there anything that catches your eye, so to speak?
The things that I was the most interested in are gone. So what I'd like to do is sell a few things and purchase a weapon and some studded leather armor for myself.
Very well. Okay, sounds good. So what stuff are you selling?
Let me go into my inventory. The Scholar's Pack I want to sell, magnifying glass I want to sell, and the component pouch I want to sell.
Okay. What's the total value of everything that you want to sell?
The total value would be 75.
Okay, and then so you get half?
No, actually, no, it would be twice that. That is half. 82.50 would be half.
Okay. All right. So how much gold are you walking away with?
With everything else that I already have, I'm going to have 40 and 5 silver, 6 copper.
Okay, and what would you like to purchase?
I would like to buy some studded leather armor and a rapier, please.
Okay, sure. And so how much does that leave you with?
Actually, that's my total that I gave you was the total after everything I purchased.
Oh, okay, I see. All right.
And I went ahead and did all the math before. I didn't list it separately.
Sounds good. Okay, some nice studded leather armor, a rapier, anything else that we can provide you?
The life insurance plan, perhaps.
Make a persuasion.
Maybe a job. How about a job?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh. 17.
What did you have in mind for a life insurance plan?
What would you be charging for it if I was to ask for a nest egg for my family?
You mean like gold?
Well, unfortunately, gold is what makes the world survive. It's not my choice.
That is not true, but I can see why everyone on the surface is confused by that.
Oh, no, I am aware that the abyss souls are the currency.
How much gold would you like to leave your family?
How about 5,000?
5,000 gold pieces.
It's not a lot for someone like you from what I've seen.
Of course not. It's pennies for me. But the question of payment still remains. This sounds a bit like 2 spins on the wheel of consequence. Is your family worth that to you, Ivusar?
They are, but I'm going to pass. 2 spins is probably not going to help my cause. I am a little bit rusty.
I see. Perhaps another time then.
If I were getting something that would help me here, that would have been changing my attitude on it.
Understandable. I can't stray too far outside the rules, a little bending here and there, but...
I actually appreciate you listening to my offer, my request. How about a job?
Well, if
you give me a job to get me out of this.
Well, I have made it quite clear that the top job as commander of my armies is available. You just have to be the one to survive.
I am a skilled archivist. I don't want to replace you, gentlemen, and I was going to be an assistant. I could be an assistant.
I should talk it over with Brunga All and see what he thinks, but of course you would have to survive all the games.
Okay, fair enough.
Anything else here at the gift shop for you?
I am great, thank you very much.
In that case, good luck in the battle to come. Greetings, Oradon. It is your turn for your intermission action. How can I be of service to you?
Aramgul, we wanted to see the gift shop.
A bit of shopping today. Excellent. Follow me, please. And the Fate's Hand Tavern fades away into the shadows as the many shelves of the gift shop apparate around you. Immediately you notice that from the tiered items, the tier 1 objects are both gone. The tier 2 objects are both gone, as is the armor from tier 3.
Well, we were interested in the Crescent Moon glass, but it's not there anymore, so...
This is the cost of having low initiative in the intermission actions. Some people choose to use a fate sphere to re-roll.
We were too slow.
I hate to present you with hindsight. It's such a asshole thing to do. I apologize.
It's not problem of them.
So, you're here in the gift shop. Any mundane items you wish to purchase, or this fine robe with eyes everywhere? Perhaps it will help with hindsight, huh? Foresight?
We will give the cloak to somebody else.
You mean you will leave it behind?
Yes.
Very well. Then is there anything else I can do for you?
Not that we know.
In that case, Oradon, I sincerely hope that you do not perish in the battle to come.
We all do.
Very well. I will see you shortly. Greetings, Jinzik. How are you doing, little one? It is your turn for your intermission action. What would you like to do?
She takes a quick look around, make sure that none of the other contestants are around. She goes, "Hey, boss! How you doing? Like what you did with the place?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I think if he's willing to talk, I might want to talk to Bona and see what I can do for him."
Okay, you would like to parley with Bona?
Yes.
Just one moment. Bona, You have been invited to a parley circle by Jinzik Lujit. Would you accept or refuse the invitation?
I will accept.
Very well. In that case, Jinzik, you have 3 minutes and it begins now.
Hi! I'm wondering, I heard you say earlier that you have something against Tavern.
I do not agree with the game that Tavern is playing. I believe Lieutenant Matthias Crow laid charges against him, and he did not deny. In fact, he admitted to at least some of it. So, yes, I guess you could say I do.
That pretty much goes along with what I know of him, too. Would you like help with that? To make it through the first round for sure, if I could help you take out Therangul.
I'm not sure we can take out Therangul at this point. I think that's somewhere further down the road, but I think that is a long-term goal. So I would very much like you to be a part of that if you'd like to.
I'd love to. Because I'd like to get him back for getting me stuck down here for so long.
I can totally understand. I think we could probably try to work together toward that goal.
That sounds like a wonderful plan. I'll watch your back.
I will try to help you if I can and keep you up if possible. You can try to stay near me, say within 30 feet. As much as possible, I will do what I can to aid you.
And I'll make sure to try and keep the bad guy away from you.
Very good, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Well, you seem to have reached an accord. Is there anything else you would like to say? This is a little awkward for me with you both planning my demise right in front of me, but hey, that's okay. I will try not to be offended. Any more, or are we done here?
No, I think we've got an agreement.
Okay, sounds very good. I appreciate your alliance.
Looking forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Okay, I will see you both in the battle ahead. I promise I won't be secretly cheering for both of you to die.
I can totally understand your position, Therangul.
No offense. Greetings, Havoc. It is your turn for your intermission action. I apologize for the wait. I hope I didn't wake you.
Give me a chance to concentrate on what I need to do. Although it is interesting that no one wanted to talk to me, so I wonder if I'm going to have many enemies looking at my back as I go into battle.
It is possible for sure, but it is the first intermission action, so maybe everyone just went shopping, huh? Maybe no one is conspiring against you. Maybe everyone is conspiring against you.
I haven't lived this long without assuming the worst of people. So, you went through some of those things in the shop, it's all nifty and all that, but I'm afraid I only trust what I got, and I have no intention of doing any shopping right now. And I don't know any of these folks other than what I briefly said to them. All I want to do is perfect. I've been trying to mentally get myself ready for battle, and all I intend to do in this is to get a little faster by quaffing one of my potions of speed that I have.
Very well. And just for the eyes of truth, you acquired a bit of extra cash by selling your starting gift?
Yes. I had an old alchemy jug that's been sitting around, passed down by my great father. God rest his soul. And, in this environment, I decided that's probably not the best. I need some weapons. I need some armor. And so I went out and bought myself a great sword of sharpness from an Orcan clan. And I call out the name Aura, it lights up and gives me 10 feet of light, and dimmer, another 10 beyond that. Also got a nice breastplate, and got a couple of potions. Got 2 speed potions, and I got myself, I got a potion of psychic protection, because when I reach to my totem, nothing, and I'm raging, nothing ain't gonna hurt me, except there's mind tricks. Don't give by myself, just in case.
Safety.
Other than that, I'm ready. And I've got my sword ready, and I've got to make sure it's sharp as it can be, and I'll bring it. I want to get on here. I want to go meet my daddy and my clan, and hopefully save the day before this drags on much longer.
I hope things go well for you, and well, excuse me, hold on, I'll try that again. I hope things go well for you, Havoc, and it's good that you are covering all your bases, making up for any inherent weaknesses in your defenses. I always say safety is no accident.
Yeah, and that sword made me mighty happy. It cuts through everything. So, cuts through people, cuts through things, and I like that very much.
Well, good. So then you are just drinking a potion, so the use ability, cast spell, intermission action?
Yeah.
And that's
exactly.
it for you?
That is all I'm going to do. I'm going to take my potion and be ready to go really fast, like the bear I am inside.
I look forward to seeing your battle prowess in the fight to come, huh? Don't disappoint.
I haven't gotten this far by disappointed folks.
That's the spirit. So as you all return to the central area in the Fate's Hand Tavern, you see Theramgul standing there, and he greets you with open arms and a smile. Okay, everyone, it is now time for my favorite part of the show. Well, my second favorite part. It's time to pick the lair that you will be entering into. For today, Richard, you get the honor being in the top left, so you get to roll a d20. 5. This has already been chosen. So we will bump down to number 7. And as the choice registers with Theramgul, you see that he thinks for a moment and then bows his head. I genuinely feel sorry for you all. This will not be pleasant in any way, and although this entity is incredibly intelligent, it is very misguided, and perhaps a little bit crazy. Can I still use that word? Okay. Yeah, he's fucking nuts. So, good luck. But to the one that falls, there's nothing I can do to help you, I am sorry. With that said, shall we get moving, huh? Let's head to the gated gallery. And Theramgul starts to fade away from all of you as the shadows begin to shift and drift, and you find yourselves moving through the massive archway of the gated gallery. And as you're standing before the many monoliths and columns of portals, you can see now that the gate for Hunter and Hunted is making its way towards you. At this point, I need everyone to roll their initiative, but we'll do it in order again, keeping in mind that it can be normal initiative, perception check, or intelligence ability score. So Havoc, if I could have your roll first, please. 12. Ivusar. 13. Jinzik. 7. Angor. 16. Oradon. 12. What's your modifier, Oradon?
+1.
And Havoc?
+3.
Okay, so Havoc I will leave as a 12. Oradon, I'll just drop you to 11. Bona.
So once again, am I able to use Vigilant Blessing on this one?
Yep. 17. And here we are, everyone. The portal seems ready. I trust that all of you are ready. I would encourage you to perhaps plug your nose. Anything you would like to say before you go in, please do. Bona.
Good luck to everyone. I know fate is not going to be kind to all of us, but good luck anyway. So.
And
Bona is carrying a shield in his hand. His weapons are hooked to his belt at this point.
Okay, so one hand free and a shield in the other?
Yes.
Angor.
You notice before we go in, Angor's armor and shield has been upgraded. In his hands, he just has... There's also a 10-foot pole and a ladder laying at the ground next to him. As he enters the portal, he only has his shield strapped to his arm.
Ivusar.
The first thing you'll notice about Ivusar is that he is now wearing leather armor, and in his hand is a rapier, and in the other hand he is holding a wand. He turns to all of you and says, I wish you all the best of luck, or that you enjoy the next life.
Havoc.
So Havoc starts loosening up his shoulders, shaking his arms. He's checking his belt pouches. He tightens his breastplate. He's got both his hand axes secured to his belt, javelins to his back. He grabs his great sword firmly with both hands, so both hands are holding the sword. Cracks his neck and yells, "Arow," at which point his sword lights up about 10 feet and yells, "My father, my clan," and then jumps into the portal.
Okay, so that's a great sword or long sword?
It's a great sword.
Oradon.
Oradon steps to the portal. He has a rapier in his hand and a 10-10 on the other hand. And they say, we were wondering, Trerangul, they said their second favorite thing was this part. What's their favorite first thing?
Watching you all die, of course.
And then I step to the portal.
And thank you for that. Jinzik.
Jinzik just grins up at the eyes of fate and goes, I'll make sure they die well. And she slides her short bow around in front of her and just rests her hand on her quiver of arrows, gives a wink to Thermgul and goes, they'll learn eventually never to trust what I say, and she'll walk into the portal.
That little one, so tricksy. So very tricksy. And with that, you all enter into the portal and immediately feel the shadowed hands grasping at you, pulling you towards your unknown destination. This uncomfortable feeling lasts for a period of time that's very difficult to discern. In a way, it's over before you know it, but on the other hand, it feels like an eternity. What you notice first is a smell that very quickly threatens to overwhelm your constitution. Rot, decay, sickness, blood, bile, and excrement. Each of these smells are so intense that as you focus to block one of them out, you are assailed by the others in force. It is absolutely putrid. Your ears are filled with a cacophony of oozing, gurgling, dripping, retching, and sloshing of viscous liquid. The humidity is intense, and as you breathe, the heavy, moist air fills your lungs with a sickening sweetness that threatens to induce illness of your own, adding it to the bouquet of smells and sounds that engulf you. As you feel your feet squelch into the mud that is now solidly beneath you, for a brief second, there's nothing but darkness. Those of you with dark vision, your eyes slowly start to adjust, and then you have to kind of turn away as magical dim light fills this area to reveal the battlefield in front of you. Before we get into the visual description of the room, I just want to situate you guys with the minis. So first off, in position 1 is Ivusar, which is this mini here with the red cape. In position 2 is Angor, which is this dual-wielding paladin mini with the red base. Then we have Bona in position 3 over here at the end, which is this kind of cloaked orange-based mini. In position 4 is Havoc with this Conan miniature right here with the yellow base. Then we have Lugit, which is the female rogue with no base, in position 5. And then in position 6 we have Oridon, which is the blue-based Gandalf mini here. As your eyes adjust, you can see that this room is roughly a 90-foot square. It's a natural cavern with a 40-foot ceiling. The walls are muddy and slick, sloping upwards and away from the foul pit that you all find yourselves in. The ground is muddy and wet, ankle-deep sludge of many colors and textures that suck at your boots, and with each step, you see a myriad of maggots and other carnivorous insects and bottom feeders left behind your booted footsteps. Pools of unknown liquids are visible amongst the muck. A variety of rotting or congealing flesh and goo are everywhere. The wails of unseen creatures can be heard in the distance, calling to you, beckoning for you to join them. If there is a place that is furthest from the light of Palion, this is it. It is at this moment that a nightmarish creature levitates up from the filth and shadows. This creature is a floating mass of flesh, bone, muscle tissue, eyes, and brain. You can see that several mouths hang open, drool and blood dripping from within them. Open boils and sores ooze pus. Massive chains wrap the creature, dragging behind it through the disgusting cavern floor, covering the chains in untold excretions and organic filth. Then in your minds, you hear a voice.
Rejoice, for this moment is paramount in your lives. I will reshape you, mold you into your inevitable form. Together, we will construct the world anew. Now come to me, my children. I will take away the pain.
And that is where we will begin. And it is Bona's turn.
Okay, for my action, I will cast protection from evil. Protection from evil and good. And I will not be using a bonus action, but for my movement, I would like to move to the left 30 feet.
Okay. So just in front, so 5, 30. Right there.
That'll be fine.
Okay. And just to be clear, even though the ground here has like stone and then there's some cavern and then there's like some green liquid looking, it doesn't affect your movement. However, what you do notice is that roughly 30 feet around this creature, you can see that the liquid tends to froth. The mud becomes like deeper, and all of the creatures within it, you can see them like writhing in this 30-foot radius. So all of the terrain around the creature within a 30-foot radius is difficult terrain for everyone to know. Okay, so that's it for Bona?
Yes.
At the end of Bona's turn, you feel the creature concentrating, looking at all of you, probing into your minds. And it is going to use a legendary action targeting 3 of you. First person that's going to get targeted is 4. What do you know? Havoc. So I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please. A 23. So you succeed on this. As you feel this creature, its presence intent on you, you kind of sense your body and like soul beginning to like disintegrate or like shape into something else. And you feel this call, sensing other entities around you within the shadows beyond your range of sight, as if you were about to start a journey to join them. But you shake it off, and you are now immune to the warp creature effect. It also targets Bona. So Bona, I need a Constitution saving throw from you as well, please. A 21 is also enough. You are immune. And the third of you that get targeted by this is Angor. Constitution saving throw, please. 19. A very, very good roll, but it does not meet the DC of 20 that is required for this. So you feel yourself being poisoned. Yeah, you have it already, but I'm gonna put it on because this is a special one.
Resistance to poison, that's only on the damage, not the effect, right?
Correct, yeah. This poison also gives you 1 level of exhaustion. You currently have 1 level of exhaustion, which I believe gives you disadvantage on ability checks. that concludes his legendary action that was used. We'll now carry on, and it is Angor's turn.
All right. For Angor's turn, he is going to... I think I can get there. 5, 10, 15. I'm actually going to move to my right and stand right next to Bona.
Okay. I'll bring you to... You want to be right next to him?
Yeah. Do you do cover for... Do you do the half cover for standing in front of an attack?
Yep.
Can I stand in the square in front of him?
Yep. It's half cover, so he would get
+2.
+2.
Highly decorated right there.
Yeah. Many rings of power.
Let's see if I can... No, I can't. I can't get rid of one of those rings. I am going to... I'm going to use my action to dodge.
Okay. Action.
Is that another ring?
Dodge. Anything else for you, Angor?
Oh, yes. Bonus action, Shield of Faith.
Okay. Bonus action, you cast Shield of Faith. Does that have any particular, visual element you want to describe?
Bright yellow emanates from my shield.
Okay, and that
Like the
is
sun.
a concentration spell?
Yes.
Yeah.
Getting a little heavy right there.
All right, is that everything for Angor?
Yes.
Erdine, Ivusar.
Ivasar is going to use his wand to cast a spell on himself. He's casting Long Strider, and he's going to move in a diagonal direction to his right, up behind that second pillar along the wall.
Okay, and Long Strider, is that's an action?
Yes, I believe it is. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure it is.
All right, and concentration?
It's an action. No, it is not concentration.
Okay. Yep, 35 movement gets you up behind that pillar. Anything else for you?
He's going to sheathe his rapier, and that'll be the end of his turn.
Okay, yep, free object interaction to do that. Havoc, it is your turn.
So how far could Havoc... Okay, first of all, Havoc is kind of hopped up. You can tell he's moving really fast right now. You hear the first thing he's going to do is his bonus action. So he's going to scream, "Foul creature!" and go into a rage.
Yep, raging.
Then can he get within striking distance of the creature with 80 feet?
80 feet. 5, 10. So when you hit this area right here, it becomes difficult terrain.
Okay, so that's where it becomes difficult terrain then. Okay.
So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and then it becomes 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. So you could get there with 80.
Then he's going to do that. He's going to go right up to him
Right.
with his movement. And he's going to attack him, reckless attack with his greatsword,
Okay.
which gives him advantage.
Yep. Reckless attack. Go ahead and make your attacks at advantage, please.
That's an 18.
18. As you swing wildly at the creature, you see one of the chains kind of shoot up from the ground and just deflect your blade. And for a second, it starts wrapping around, but you manage to pull the blade away from being caught by the chain.
Okay. So, and then he's going to use his second action to do a dash. Actually, back to the island. You know, where he was standing at the beginning. There's a big island over there. I think it's like on 16G, something like that.
Right here?
No, one more island back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. He's going to dash over to that, and because he's got the mobile feat. He's not susceptible to opportunity attacks while dashing.
Understood. All right. So you move 80 feet back.
He has 160 of dash speed, but he doesn't need it all. He just wants to go to that island.
Yeah. Well, 80 for your dash, though, right? Because you've already used your movement.
Yeah, 80 for, 80. I'm just dash. It was 80 to walk. Yeah, exactly. So.
Good with that?
Yep, good with that.
It is now the creature's turn. And the other three that have yet to be targeted by this warp creature ability are now susceptible to it. So we'll start with Ivusar. I need a Constitution saving throw, please.
16.
16 is a fail. So you two are poisoned and exhausted. Level 1. Okay. Oridon, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please. 17. You were poisoned as well. As you
And also 1 level of exhaustion, right?
Yeah, and level 1 exhaustion as well. And finally, Jinzik, I need you to give me a saving throw too, please.
Nope.
You are poisoned. And all of you that are poisoned and exhausted in this way, you feel your bodies beginning to change within, like almost at a genetic level and starting to devolve, and you feel your life essence being pulled away from your body. You can tell that you will be changed permanently if something doesn't save you within the next 30 seconds or so. Okay. That concludes... No, it doesn't conclude the creature's turn. He's in fact going to move forward. See him fly 20 feet. Extending this 30-foot radius to this level, which currently has Angor and Bona enveloped in it. The rest that are behind are not within the radius. For Havoc, we're not in the range currently.
I believe I am.
Sorry?
I believe I am, Dave.
Oh, over on the other side. Yep. Thank you for that.
No problem.
You're included as well. So starting your turn within this range has an effect, guys, so please just let me know and remind me at the beginning of your turn. That's the end of the creature's turn. It is Oridon's turn.
Oridon looks at the creature and casts Dissonant Whispers, saying, "We don't approve them turning us around."
Okay, what's my save for Dissonant Whispers?
It's a Wisdom 13 save.
Wisdom 13. Okay, this creature does have magic resistance, so it has advantage on saving throws against spells. It gets an 8, so it does still fail, but it's going to go ahead and use one of its legendary resistances to just pass anyway. Is there an effect after a successful save?
On a failed save, it takes 3d6 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from you. So it should move away from me.
That's on a failed save?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it used a legendary resistance to succeed.
Oh, okay.
So any effect on a successful save?
Not that I'm aware of. And on a successful save, the target takes half as much damage and doesn't have to move away. A defend creature that automatically succeeds on the save.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your damage, please.
Ooh, max damage.
Wow, nicely done. Okay, so 18 on the dice, and it takes half. So 9, is that psychic?
Psychic, yes.
9 psychic. Sounds good.
And I have to roll for my chaos because of level 1 spell.
Yep, so D20, please, as the wild magic surges through you. Ah, not a 1. Okay.
You sound disappointed, Dave.
I am. I genuinely am. So while poisoned, which did happen to you before your turn started, you actually need to make another save at the beginning of your turn. So I need another Constitution save as your body continues to be warped by this creature.
I forgot to tell that when I said that my eyes turned like galaxies, stars and stuff. You only see my eyes and with my mask. I forgot to tell that.
Cool.
So a 10.
Okay, we'll try to add it in. A 10 does not succeed. So Oridon, you have moved up to level 2 exhaustion. You're now moving at half normal speed, as well as the disadvantage on ability checks. Don't worry, it gets worse.
I like how you said that.
Okay, after Oridon, we have Chinzik.
Hey. She'd like to move up behind Bova?
Up behind Bona?
Yeah.
Okay, so right in here.
Yes.
No problem.
Going to get slightly crowded.
Let's hope this thing doesn't have a lightning bolt.
Yeah. And she's going to...
Sorry, it is the start of your turn, so I need you to make another Constitution save.
Nope.
18 is still, unfortunately, not enough. So you as well have now moved up to level 2 exhaustion. So your movement is halved. Your speed is halved, I should say. And keep in mind that because you're poisoned, you have disadvantage on all ability checks and attack rolls.
Yep. Which is why she's going to hide. Use her bonus action to hide behind the other two.
Okay, and is that's using a forest gnome ability that allows you to hide behind medium creatures?
It's the cunning action.
Yep. But in order to hide, you do need to be behind total cover. So is there a forest gnome ability that allows you to do it when you're not behind total cover?
I don't think so. Now, how would the cover work? Because she's small.
Mm-hmm. So normally by being behind another character, you would have a +2 to AC, but I know there's an ability, at least for certain halfling racial abilities. I don't know. I'm just double checking for your character. Okay, so you do have half cover, but you can't take the hide action here.
Okay. Then either way, she's just gonna take a shot at the creature.
Okay. With shortbow?
Yes.
All right, let's have that attack roll at disadvantage, please. 21 at disadvantage. You pull back that bow and let loose an arrow, and it thuds center of mass into the creature, and you see some of the eyes around it like close and distort. Please go ahead and roll your damage. So 7 non-magical piercing. So you definitely hear a wet like sound as your arrow penetrates, but based on what you've seen, it doesn't appear to do as much damage as it would have to any that you may have previously shot.
One shot, Peanut.
You use your reaction to yell out, I assume?
No. Thinking it.
All right. Okay. Anything else for Jinzik?
No, I think that's it.
All right, that ends the first round. Actually, before that, it's going to use its last legendary action to cast a spell. And it's going to take aim randomly at Horadon.
I would like to use a Fate Sphere.
Okay. Horadon uses his first Fate Sphere. I will re-roll the target of the spell. That is a 4 to Havoc.
I'll use a Fate Sphere as well.
Yes, the paranoia is setting in. Re-rolling. This time it's a 3 for Bona.
Fate's for me.
It's first as well. It's a 3 again for Bona.
Fate's fair for me.
The second.
I don't even have to think about it.
Oh, Bona, it's a 3
You gotta
again.
be kidding me.
Heavy.
And I thought 4. I thought 4 was the bad number.
Yeah.
Another Fate Sphere for me.
Okay, that is number 3. A 6 for Oridon.
Let's take it.
Oridon is going to take it. You feel this creature's presence enter into your mind, and this surge of psychic energy threatens to overwhelm you as you feel your muscles start to constrict, and you realize that you're starting to not be able to control your own movement. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please. DC 21.
I will use the Fate Sphere again.
Okay, hold on a sec though. Why at disadvantage for the wisdom save?
It's not because of exhaustion.
I don't
that's
think
also-
that at level 2 exhaustion, your saving throws are at disadvantage.
No, that's a 3. Sorry. Then should I re-roll it?
Yeah, just re-roll a single wisdom saving throw, please. A 6.
Not better.
Not bad. Just sticking with the 6?
Yeah, well, no, I use a Fate Sphere.
Okay, a second Fate Sphere being used. Go ahead and re-roll that wisdom save. $14. Significantly better, but still not a 21.
Would I use my Tides of Chaos? It says I can use it on attack roll, ability check, or saving throw
Yeah.
to gain advantage.
Yep, so go ahead and roll again, and this will be your advantage for the...
Thank God for that.
Oh,
Yeah, it is a much better roll. It's still not a 21.
I don't care.
It is still a fail. As the creature has cast Hold Monster on you, you are now paralyzed.
Wait, now we are monsters?
From his point of view, until he has warped you into something that he deems more attractive. You are considered incapacitated. You are not concentrated on anything, so you can't move or speak. Automatically fail strength and dex saving throws. Attack rolls against you have advantage. And any attack that hits you, if it's within 5 feet, is a crit. So that ends round 1, folks. We will now begin round 2. Bona is up first. And at the start of your turn, Bona, because you are in this 30-foot radius of what is called contamination aura. So everything within 30 feet is being corrupted. So starting your turn within this corrupted area, I need a Constitution saving throw, please. 7.
I'm going to use Favored by the Gods and roll that again.
Okay. Go ahead and re-roll.
I'm going to Fate Sphere and roll that again.
Okay. Sounds.
Oh, gosh.
12.
I guess I'm going to take it and see what happens.
Okay, so that was your 4th Fate Sphere?
Yes, it was.
All right. Standing within this aura of corruption of this creature, your senses suddenly become very acute to the worms and spiders and unnamed things in the muck that are like writhing in pain as you too start to feel this pain as you take 14 poison damage. And I need a concentration saving throw, please. DC 10. Okay, you maintain concentration.
Wow.
And it is your turn.
Okay, is this a poison that it did to me that is going to continue to affect me? Or just while I'm standing within this area range?
You didn't feel it until it moved forward and you were within the area of corruption.
Okay, I've got you. Okay, I have an item called Kyotoman's Ointment, and that comes with 1d4 plus 1 doses. I have not rolled to see the doses yet because I figured you would want to witness that. So is it okay if I roll that to see how many doses I've got?
Yep, definitely.
Items costs per dose, and this ain't magical.
Ah, right. Okay, good call, Ken. So how much did you pay for it, Fred? Do you remember, Freddie?
820 for it.
120. All right. Okay, so you have 1 dose of it, Freddie.
Okay. As a reaction, I'm going to hand that dose to Angor. He's standing right in front of me.
Okay.
Is that okay?
It would be your free object interaction, or you can drop it at his feet. Or Angor, if you want to use your reaction, you could grab it from him.
Either way is fine. I can lay it at our feet, if that's okay.
I can use my reaction. I haven't used one this round.
Okay, I would let you use your reaction to like catch it as he's like tossing it to you. Okay, yep, no problem.
Do I gotta make a check to catch it? Because that might be bad.
No, I'll just... You're good. You're right beside him.
Okay, so that was my free action then, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Then as my action, I'm going to cast Twilight Sanctuary, and that's not actually a spell, it's just an ability that I have.
Mm-hmm.
If you'd like me to read it to you, I can, and tell you what it does.
Yes, please.
As an action, you present your holy symbol, and a spear of twilight emanates from you. The spear is centered on you, has a 30-foot radius, and is filled with dim light. The spear moves with you, and it lasts for 1 minute or until you are incapacitated or die. Whenever a creature, including you, ends its turn in the sphere, you can grant that creature one of these benefits. You can end one effect on it, causing it to be charmed or frightened, or you can grant it 1d6 plus 2 temporary hit points.
Mm-hmm.
So I have that 30-foot sphere of dim light emanating from me.
Yep.
And, as my bonus action, I would like to cast...
Sorry, for clarity though, which creature are you picking and what ability are you granting?
Well, I can only do it at the end of their turn. Whenever a creature, including you, ends its turn in the sphere, you can grant that creature one of these benefits.
Got you. Okay, I'm gonna...
So it only happens
I'm just gonna
at the end of
grab
their turn.
a radius, just 1 sec.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, so it took me an action to do that, and it was not a spell, so I'm going to, as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Sanctuary, and that does not require concentration.
Okay, and...
Would you like me to read that spell to you?
Yeah.
Okay. When you ward a creature within range against attack until the spell ends, any creature who targets the warded creature with an attack or a harmful spell must first make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature must choose a new target or lose the attack or spell. The spell doesn't protect the warded creature from area effects such as an explosion of a fireball.
Okay. So I'll put
If the warded creature makes an attack, casts a spell that affects an enemy, or deals damage to another creature, the spell ends. So if I attack or cast a spell that affects the enemy, the spell will go away from me.
Okay, I'm putting a magical effect ring on you for your Sanctuary?
Yes. Okay, and then I want to move out of the range of this corruption that I'm in, so I think I would like to probably move to the right, toward the corner, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, toward that direction. You just wanted to.
I feel like I'm playing Operation. So 5, 10, like 15 feet would get you here. How far would you like to move? You see okay?
Actually, my screen was frozen there for a minute, but now it's back. How many feet does that get me away from the creature? Can you tell me?
That's 15 feet of movement, and you are 35 feet from the creature, and you are out of the aura of corruption currently.
Can I go 10 more feet?
Yep, so if you used 15, this would be 20, 25 would put you here.
That should be fine, and that has me totally out of the creature's range, correct?
Currently, yes.
Okay. Then that will end my turn, but at the end of my turn, I will use that Twilight Sanctuary ability on myself to give myself temporary hit points.
Okay, and it was 1d6.
Plus 2, yes. Okay, that's three temporary hit points I get this round.
Perfect.
Okay, and that ends my turn.
Okay. At the end of your turn, the creature will use a legendary action and you hear this like sickening smell, like someone like sucking snot into their mouth, getting ready to spit, is what you all hear. As the creature takes aim at Jinzik. Big decision. Or maybe it's a small decision, who knows?
You know what? Yeah. I'll take it.
You're gonna take it. Okay. Using the legendary action to squirt bile, this creature targets someone that it can see within 120 feet. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please, Jinzik. A 25 dex save with a natural 20. That is a successful saving throw. As you see this like massive wad of bile heading towards you, you deftly dodge out of the way and you just hear it squelch against the cavern wall behind you. And then a sizzling burn of acid as it starts to melt through the cavern wall. That makes it Angor's turn.
All right. I am going to move. Saw Bona move to my right. I'm going to move in between Bona and whatever this thing is.
Okay, first thing, sorry. You're starting your turn within the corruption aura, so yep. I need a constitution saving throw.
They're not going to do it.
14, not going to cut it. So in that case, you would take 10 poison damage.
Which I'm resistant to.
Cut to 5. And now it's your turn.
Okay, so now I'm going to move. I'm going to be between it and Bona. I grab Bona by the scruff of the shirt.
Sorry, man.
Good.
One other thing I forgot. Because you are already poisoned from its warp creature ability, I need another constitution saving throw.
I don't think you can fit any more of those rings on mine. Is there a caveat?
He's staring you.
Yeah. I just need like one ring to replace them all.
Put another one on there.
Well, it's just a mark saying that you are now at exhaustion level 2, so you are at half movement in addition to the disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls. So half movement, and you're currently in difficult terrain.
I can move 5.
So each step would cost you, 20 feet of movement.
I can't get to him. Even if I dashed.
Yeah, narratively, your life essence is just being drained. You're growing more and more tired, and all the ground around this creature is just deep mud that's holding on to you, trying to hold you in place.
Just for some clarification, I was under the impression that the ground isn't difficult terrain, is there something in my spot, or is it because I've been there for so long? Or
So the ground itself is not difficult terrain, but the corruption aura within 30 feet of the creature, everything becomes difficult terrain.
Gotcha. So I guess I will back up 5 feet. I will use a bonus action to drink a potion, and I'll be right in front of Jinzik.
Okay.
Back away from the creature, so I'll be right in front of Jinzik.
Sorry, my bad.
That's all right. Try to see which direction I'm facing because I'm so decorated.
I'll go take the point for you.
And I'll kind of wildly look around, and I see Bona, and I shout, "I can't get there from here! I'm all fucked up! I can't hear shit!" And it's a bonus action to drink a potion, which is the elixir of health. The elixir of health cures any disease afflicting you. It removes the blinded, deafened, paralyzed, and poisoned conditions. I think I have all 4 of those right now.
Okay. The deafened, definitely gone.
Now I had 2 of those. Those stack, right?
Yeah, you did have 2. Hold on. Just read the elixir again.
When you drink this potion, it cures any disease affecting you. It removes the blinded, deafened, paralyzed, and poisoned conditions.
Okay, I would say that gets rid of both.
Score.
Yeah.
Okay, so deafened is gone. That.
Okay, yep, so you're no longer deafened.
Okay.
And
paralyzed, I'm not paralyzed. But poisoned, I am very poisoned.
definitely
Not only you.
does remove poisoned. Its physical effect 1, I believe, is deafened. That you were concentrating on your shield of faith, and because of your damage that you took, I do need a Constitution save, DC 10.
Oh, come on. I gotta roll better than I had done. Hey,
There you go. So you're still concentrating on Shield of Faith. Okay, so I would say by using that elixir, it has removed all of the current poison on you, which would then, because you're not poisoned, it would eliminate the exhaustion.
that is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that was perhaps the best potion I have ever consumed in this game.
You definitely got some serious mileage out of it.
Yeah. I can hear. Okay, so that was bonus action, 5-foot move, my full movement, and my action is to.
So here's a question I'd throw out to the group. Oh no, you did move, and it did cost you. That cost you 20 feet of movement. So now that you're no longer exhausted, you would have the remainder of your movement. You've used 20 of it.
Oh, because my speed was halved. So I have 10.
Yes.
How far is Bona from me?
Bona is
5, 10, 15, 20? I can't quite see.
from you.
Okay. I'm going to dodge again. And I look at Bona. I'm coming! And that will be my turn.
Okay, so no more movement. Action dodge.
No, I wanna give these two people some cover. I can't get to Bona to help him, so I might as well help somebody.
All right. At the end of your turn, the creature is
Dave,
going... Yep, sorry.
Dave, can I ask something before you go?
For sure.
So at the end of his turn, if he's within 30 feet of me, I can give him temporary hit points. I can't tell if he is or not. Can you tell me if he is?
He is.
Okay. Then I will give him temporary hit points.
Okay, roll your 1d6.
That would be 8.
Awesome.
Excellent. At the conclusion of Angor's turn, the creature sets his intent on Angor.
Saw that coming.
And I need you to make a dexterity saving throw as the creature attempts to squirt bile at you as well.
I'm not very good at these.
Don't you have advantage because of the dodging action?
Yeah, I think so. It definitely puts attacks at disadvantage. Does it also provide advantage to dexterity saving throws?
I thought it was just attacks.
I don't know. I'm just asking.
Hey, I appreciate it.
If you can see the attacker, until the start of your next turn, any attack roll made against you has disadvantage. If you can see the attacker and you make dexterity saving throws with advantage. Good call. Teamwork, making the dream work.
Awesome. So I get to roll my +0 again?
Yep.
It's better.
Better.
Yeah, you are hit center of mass by this chunk of bile emanating from the creature. And as it hits you, you are hit for 23 acid damage.
So, resistance, so that's 11.
Yep, 23 reduced to 11.
So my 8's gone. My 8 temp is gone. And then I lose 3.
Correct. That is the end of his legendary action. It is now Ivusar's turn in round 2.
Ivusar is going to dash back to the corner in the direction he came from, but into the corner. The first 60 feet would be his difficulty, and then he has another 20 feet after that.
Sure. Before that happens, I need a Constitution saving throw from your poison first.
Nope.
That you advance to a second level of exhaustion, which cuts your speed in half. You are also within the corruption aura. Sorry for clarity, that is the contamination feat, but is an aura of corruption. So I need another Constitution saving throw, please.
17.
17 is still considered a fail to this DC 20. So at the start of your turn, you take... Dice would disappear.
Always the same.
12 poison damage. And now you can begin your turn. There is some difficult terrain within this 30 feet of the creature that you're currently in.
It's going to be difficult terrain whichever direction I go. So move me 40 feet. 60 feet. 80 feet. So 80 half to 40, yeah.
Okay, so normal speed is 80?
Actually, you know what? Yeah, my normal speed is 80, but I'm going to save my action, so I'm just going to move 20 toward the wall.
Okay. So 20 feet worth of movement?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, 20 feet, that's halved. So I have 40 movement right now.
Okay, 40 movement, which is 4 squares at your current. Moving at 40. Each step is 20, so you can move 2 steps.
Mm-hmm.
Want to move 20 or 2 steps this way or that way?
Or the direction I came from.
Okay. All right, as you enter into the twilight. And I think now actually everyone in this area is within the aura, just for clarification, because this is only 25 feet, not 30. Just saying. Okay, and what would you like to do, Evasar?
I'm going to start with my bonus action and drink my elixir of health.
Okay.
And I'm deleting that from my sheet. And I'm going to use my wand to attempt to throw a firebolt at it.
So you were cleared of the poison and the accompanying exhaustion. You can go ahead and make a straight attack roll with your firebolt.
That's a 16 to hit.
16 just misses the outer edge of the massive form of this creature, and you just hear it sizzle into the thick mud behind him.
Okay, and I assume that also constitutes my item action to draw the potion?
No, it's free. It's free.
Oh, okay. Well, I wanted to draw 3 stones into my hand as an item action.
Okay.
That's it. I'm done.
At the end of your turn, the creature will take its third and final legendary action of round 2 as it prepares to hawk another loogie. Whoa, what did I just roll there? Did we redo that?
What does loogie mean? Sorry.
Spit, sorry. It's a terrible English phrase that just means spit or squirt bile. At number 1, which would be at Evusar.
Fate Sphere.
Okay, Fate Sphere is used. His first. I'm re-rolling the target of that attack. Sorry, Michael. This one's coming at Jinzik.
I'll take it.
Okay, go ahead and roll that Dex save.
I'm giving you cover.
With cover.
Nope. 9 ain't gonna do it.
That's not gonna do it.
Did you roll it?
Fate Sphere.
Okay, Fate Sphere to re-roll. That was your first Fate Sphere?
Yep.
Go ahead and re-roll. 22. You deftly duck out of the way as another one impacts the cave wall above you, sizzling as the acid runs its course. Okay, that's the end of his last legendary action. It is now Havoc's turn.
So Havoc is looking to see if he can move within striking range again. Normal movement, which is 80. So I'm not sure if he can get there with the... I think he can. Seems like he was closer than he was last time.
Sure.
And he's gonna do his reckless attack with his great sword.
All right, let's have that attack at advantage.
And you hear him with the sword over his head screaming, "Die, thing!" Yes.
22, that hits, yeah. Let's have some damage rolled on that attack.
Okay, and so this will be flat roll, but he gets an additional +2 because he's in rage. So that'd be 15 damage.
15 non-magical slashing?
Yeah, well, it's magical slashing technically because it's a sort of sharpness.
From an oil of sharpness?
No, from a sword of sharpness.
Okay. Is that considered magical?
I believe so, because it allows me to lop off heads or limbs. But it's only had 2 20s in a row. The magic item. It's a magical enhancement to a greatsword.
Okay. Yep, magic sword. Okay, Vorpal is a head. This is the limb.
Yeah, this is just a limb.
Got you. Okay. So 15 magical slashing damage.
Yep. And then I'm going to beeline dash to that corner up by like D4. There's that little spot right next to that pillar in the corner.
Yep, up this way?
Yeah.
Sounds good. And I'm just going to
And as he's dashing, you guys can briefly see like a silhouette of a bear on all fours just sprinting toward that corner.
So that whole corner is still difficult terrain.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, then I want. Okay, then maybe I would go back to where I was before.
Okay. All right.
Trying to avoid the difficult terrain from him. So yeah.
Get back to here for sure.
Yeah.
Technically, I think.
Can you back me up a little bit more? Because I'm afraid he's going to move.
Sure. No problem. Yeah, I'm just.
It was close to that corner as you can.
Right there.
Yeah, right there it works.
Cool. Excellent. Is that the end of Havoc's turn?
Yes, that'll be the end of his turn. As he's screaming in triumph as he's finally slashed this thing.
Right. It is now the creature's turn. And as it starts scanning around all of you, you see its chains that are attached to it start to like whip around as you hear the metal clanking against some of the stones on the wall and into the wet muck. It is going to move forward 20 feet first, however. It hovers. So using its multi-attack, it can make 3 chain attacks and squirt bile. So its first chain attack would be coming towards Orodon.
I would use a Fate Sphere to reroll that.
So you're actually not in range of this chain.
Oh, yes.
You're okay.
Then never mind.
That's way better than using a Fate Sphere.
Huh?
Okay, so it's going to choose to squirt bile at you because it can't reach you with the chains.
Mm-hmm. Then I will use my Fate Sphere.
Okay. Your third. So this is a 5. So Jinzik, it would be an attack coming at you. So this would be a chain you're in range for. Gonna take it, or
And that's a physical attack?
it is.
Okay. Then I'll Fate Sphere.
Each here? Okay. Second one, re-rolling to see who the target is. 2 would be Angor.
Bring it out. I am dodging.
Dodging, bringing it out. Okay, got you. So I will make this attack with disadvantage. At disadvantage, it's a 16 to hit.
No.
All right, first chain whips over your head. You deflect it as it would have impacted into the side of your head. Second attack of 3. This one is coming to Ivusar.
I'm going to Fate Sphere that.
Okay, you're not in range for the chain, so it would be the bile.
Okay.
Just for clarity.
I will still Fate Sphere that.
Okay, sounds good. You use your second one. This time it is coming towards Bona. You are in range of the chain.
Okay, it will have to roll against a sanctuary spell to see if it can attack me.
Okay.
That's a DC of 13 wisdom.
Wisdom save. All right. He does not have a special wisdom saving throw, so I'm just rolling his wisdom score. Natural 1 for an 8.
Nice.
So he fails.
So
He
lucky.
has to choose someone else or lose his attack.
Yeah. You can choose someone else. Evusar.
I will Fate Sphere again.
Third Fate Sphere. 5. Jinzik. Sound of the chains flicking back behind him as he prepares to propel it forward.
Fate Sphere.
Third
Why do I
Fate
think of
Sphere.
Scorpion?
Sorry, what was that, Michael?
Why do I think of Scorpion of Mortal Kombat?
Yeah. Get over here!
Yeah, something like that.
Ah, Evusar.
I'm in a Fate Sphere.
Okay, number 4 being used. Evusar. This time it is a 4 for Havoc. This would be Bile coming your way.
I'm a tank. I'll take it.
Alright, Havoc's gonna take one for the team.
Yay!
And I have advantage on my deck save.
Go ahead and make that DC 20.
Not enough.
Not enough. As you two are smashed in the chest by this goo for 28 acid damage as it starts to sear into you, although you take 14.
Oh, I take half of that.
14.
That's what tanks are for.
So that's 2 attacks down. Bona. Chain.
Sanctuary, right?
Yes.
Don't think if this is still his turn, he can't attack me this round. He's already failed his
Oh,
save.
right. Got you. Yep. Sorry. Rerolling. My bad. Havoc, this would be coming towards you. But it can't reach you, so it's gonna reroll. 5, Jinzik.
Fate Sphere.
Number 4.
Yep.
Bona, it can't attack. 6, Oridon.
Fate Sphere.
Number 4 for Oridon. It too is Angor. He says bring it.
Still dodging.
Chain whips around. Disadvantage on the attack roll. Can't see the roll. It's a 10 or an 11 plus 7. I think that's an 8. No, disadvantage is probably 17? No.
13.
Oh, it's plus 13. My bad. 23 to hit.
Whoa.
Plus 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
Right.
I like those dice.
As this chain smashes into you, you are hit for 22 force damage.
Oh, hey. I got something for that.
Yeah, I believe your
Yeah.
new armor gave you...
It kind of sparks a little bit when this chain hits me, like 2 electric currents touching.
Yeah. 11 damage coming your way then, after that resistance. Final chain attack on this creature's turn is coming towards. 4 is Havoc, can't reach him. Rabona can't attack him. Pours Havoc. Angor.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, he's taking it. Once again, disadvantage.
Oh, low this time.
Ooh, natural 20. That could have been bad, but it's a 2 for a 15 total. Does not hit. That ends the creature's turn. And we move on now to Auradon. Auradon, you are starting your turn with that. Well, you're paralyzed, but you're also poisoned, so I need a Constitution saving throw first.
Or the
exhausting
corruption
poison, yeah, the
thingy?
warp creature.
Or the poison. Okay, first one is poison. 22.
22. All right. So with that save, you are no longer poisoned, and all of your exhaustion disappears, and you are now immune to the warp creature poison as well. However, you still have a small problem. Paralyzed. I also need you to make another Constitution saving throw because you are within the corrupting aura. So Constitution saving throw for that. A 21. That makes you now immune to that damage.
Nice.
So you are immune to both of those.
Well rolled.
And take
I'm lucky. I have to say.
no damage from that. So because you can't take any actions, you can't move, all you're doing right now is making a save against this hold monster spell. So I need a wisdom saving throw, DC 21, please.
Okay.
16. You are still frozen, even though you feel a lot better and you've become accustomed to the dangers that lurk around this creature. You are not in control of your body. Okay, so that ends Auradon's turn.
Quick note.
Yep.
I missed something before. I did take damage, so I would have had to make a concentration check to keep my Shield of Faith up. It wouldn't, even if I lose it, it wouldn't affect that attack that missed, though.
Okay, then just go ahead and
Still gotta
make another con save.
No.
How much damage? You took 11 though, didn't you? So the save is 10.
Oh, yeah. I just looked at the dice. I didn't look at the +2. Yeah.
Yep. So you're good. It's 10 or half the damage, whichever is greater, and you only half the damage would have been 5.
Yeah.
All right. That ends Auradon's turn. It is now Jinzik's turn. You are starting your turn. I need a Constitution saving throw, please.
With the warp.
Do I get temporary HP from Bona or not?
He didn't
Because of the thing?
state that he was giving any.
Oh, okay.
16 is not enough Jinzik. So that increases you to exhaustion level 3. Which I believe that, I mean, you're already poisoned, but I think exhaustion level 3 is disadvantage on attack rolls.
Attack and saves.
Yeah, and saves too.
Yep.
I'm just going to leave that up. You also feel like if you don't get out of here or end this condition in the next 18 seconds roughly, you will be forever altered.
Yep.
There we go. You're also beginning your turn within the aura of corruption. I need another Constitution saving throw, please.
Yep.
That case.
This is gonna hurt.
You're taking 19 poison damage. Okay, Okay, it is now your turn. However, you are in difficult terrain.
Okay. Is the creature within 5 feet of Angor?
No, there's this spot here
Just
is 5 foot space.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a full... He's 10 feet away from Angor.
Okay, then since moving is kind of pointless, I'm going to take one of my potions of healing.
Okay, bonus action, potion of healing. 6 hit points back.
Better than nothing. And I don't think it's gonna do much good, but I'm going to take a shot anyway. And I'm going to use one of my special arrows.
Okay.
So this gives the shot a +1, but it's at disadvantage on the shot, so.
Okay.
That's 1, 4.
Hey. Yeah, even at disadvantage.
20 to hit.
That does hit, so go ahead and roll your damage.
Alright, and this gets a +1 on the damage as well.
9 magical piercing damage to this creature.
Yes.
Your arrow right into the center of it. Anything else for Jinzik?
That's it.
Dave, at the end of Jinzik's turn, if she's within 30 feet of me, I give her temporary hit points.
Okay. She is. Go ahead and roll your d6.
That would be 5.
5 temporary hit points. Okay, at the beginning of round 3, it is now bonus turn. You are within that aura, but you are no, you're not immune to that one. So I do need a Constitution saving throw. This is for the contamination aura.
Failed.
7 is a fail. Which means that you take...
What kind of damage
That's a
is this
0.
day?
Pardon me? What kind of damage
What
is
kind
it?
of damage?
It's poison. 10 poison damage for Bona.
Okay. Gotcha.
And it's now your turn. Michael, did you say something?
No, I just, because the dice was covering
Yeah, I
the
saw
1, I
that.
was like, it was a 0. So
yeah.
1, 10, 2. So there was like a comment.
Got you.
Don't worry.
Okay. Sounds good. So you're in difficult terrain, Bona, but it is your turn.
Okay. So first thing I want to do is, as a bonus action, I want to drink a potion of greater healing.
Mm-hmm.
And that is 4 plus 4. So 10 plus 4 gives me 14 back.
14 back.
For my action, I would like to drink a potion of heroism. And that's for 1 hour. I gain 10 temporary hit points. And I'm under the effects of a bless spell. No concentration required.
Okay. So I am putting Bless on you. I do have a concentration ring on you currently.
That's for protection from evil.
Okay, so from the poison damage, I need a con save.
It's an 11.
Yep, so you're good.
So that was my action. and my bonus action, and for movement, I want to move out of that area of corruption. Can I move up this wall that's closest to me for my camera view?
This one here?
Yeah.
Yep.
Move me back towards that wall. I guess towards the corner there, yeah.
Sorry, what was that? Back towards you?
But toward the corner, yeah. It doesn't have to be right in the corner, but maybe 10 feet up from the corner, but just straight back, I guess.
Okay.
Against the wall.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30?
Yeah, that'll be fine. Am I out of the corruption in that area?
No, you're not. No.
Was there another way that I could move from where I was standing to get out of the corruption?
No. It goes all the way to, like, beyond the wall. It's 30 feet, and the corner is... This is 25 here, so this would be 30 in the very corner. But
Okay, instead of moving me there, can you move me in front on the back side of the creature? I want to go behind it.
okay. We'll go 1, 2, 3 to get you back where you were.
Oh, I tell you what, Dave, just leave me over there by the wall where I was. I was going to use a bonus action to do something, but I can't. I've already used a bonus action, so leaving me there will be fine.
Okay, no problem. Okay.
And that will be the end of my turn.
Understood. Put this back. Still. Right. At the end of your turn, he is going to attempt to spit bile as you hear these sickening sounds of this acid being pulled together once again. This one is coming towards Angor. Letting it come.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
At disadvantage. No, you get to make a dex save at advantage.
Ugh.
10. Not enough. So that means Angor, you're taking half of this once we can see what it is.
It's gonna be high.
Yeah.
I see a 4 right there.
22.
I saw a 22.
22. Poison damage. Nope, acid damage, sorry.
That will drop me to 0.
Okay, Angor is down. And is done.
I'm going to use my half-orc ability to just go to 1 hit point.
All right, sounds good. You stay up with 1 hit point. And what's the name of that ability again?
It is Relentless Endurance.
Okay.
When you're dropped to 0 hit points, but not killed, you can drop to 1 hit point instead, once per long rest.
All right, and it is now your turn.
Okay. I need to make a concentration on that 22.
Yes.
So I need an 11 time.
Yep, so you still got your shield of faith. Now you are starting your turn in that area of corruption, so I need a constitution. Or are you immune to it? Let me double check here. Or nope, you're not immune. So.
That ain't gonna do it.
No, that is not going to do it. That means there's some poison damage. More than 1 hit point, so that puts Angor down. Concentration is lost. Dying.
Trouble.
trouble.
Is Angor within 30 feet of me?
It's 40 feet from you currently.
Okay, gotcha.
That ends Angor's turn. We wouldn't be doing any saves because that's at the beginning of your turn. Okay. That makes it Ivusar's turn. Ivusar is starting in the corrupted area. I need a Constitution saving throw, please.
That'll be a 7. I'm going to use the fate sphere to reroll that.
Dip.
Nope. I'll use my last fate sphere.
Okay, 6 and final used for another reroll. This time it's at advantage.
Yes.
Yeah, because you used one and then you used another one right in a row. Okay, but it's still not enough.
Yeah, I needed a nat 20. As far as I know.
10
Ooh, I walked out.
poison damage.
I am still standing, Dave.
Yep, with 1 hit point left, I believe.
That's exactly right. That's why I was so trying not to get hurt.
So you're still standing. It is your turn. You are within that difficult terrain area.
Yes, I'm going to move toward the back wall to the right on the picture.
Okay.
And I believe the first 60 feet will be of my movement. The last 20, first 60 feet will get me 6 squares, and then 2 and 2.
Yep. 10 foot per square. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60.
Yep, and then I have 20 feet of movement left, just make 20 feet farther, diagonally away from it.
Yep, like towards the corner or this way?
Yep, anything that puts more distance between me and it.
Okay.
Thank you. I used my action to dash there, so let me see what I got for bonus actions real quick.
Action to dash.
I'm going to... I thought I bought a potion, but I guess I didn't. Oh, I guess I didn't. My bad. All right. I'm going to pull out my rapier and begin a blade song. So up my armor class at least.
Okay, so bonus action blade song?
Yep.
Right. At the end of your turn, it's using a legendary action. Squirt more bile. And said bile will be squirt upon Havoc.
Fate spare.
The second. Which means it's coming to Havoc.
Another one.
And third. Instead, it's coming to Angor.
Uh-oh.
You taking it?
Do
He's
I?
unconscious.
You still use fate spheres even when you're unconscious.
Yeah, might as well. Not supposed to. You can't keep them.
No.
You can't take them with you.
So that was your last one.
Yep.
Number 6, Oridon.
Fate sphere.
5th fate sphere for Oridon. 5, Jinzik.
I'm gonna take it.
Okay, Jinzik's gonna take it. That means I need you to make a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage, please.
Nope.
12. So you are taking that result?
I'll use the fate sphere.
Okay, so you can go ahead and re-roll.
still at disadvantage?
Yeah. Well, I mean, so technically, for clarification, you could use your Fate Sphere to just reroll one of those die. But that, in this current situation, that wouldn't get you anything. So, with the Fate Sphere, your best option is actually to do it at disadvantage again.
Yeah.
And that was your 5th,
Nope.
by the way.
Still did hit.
Yep.
Alright.
Taking the hit.
Yep.
Okay. Ooh, it's a lot of 6s. 33 acid damage.
Crap. That takes me down.
Okay, with that ends his second legendary action. That makes it Havoc's turn.
So, Havoc.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but is she within 30 feet of me?
Don't believe that she is.
No, 'cause she's right behind me and I'm 40.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, Havoc, you are up, sir.
Okay, I'm going to. Well, is it possible? I was thinking about moving over to Peanut and seeing if I could pick her up and then dash off into the corner to get her out of that corrupted area. But is that something that? How would that? Can that mechanically work?
So mechanically, as long as you're strong enough to pick her and all of her gear up within your maximum carry weight.
Ginsink, gear included, is 115 pounds.
Yeah, it's only if you're trying to move someone who's resisting you. I think it cuts your...
It's literally like a fireman's carry. Throw over my shoulder. So I'm going to use my movement in my first action. I'm going to use my movement to get to Jinzik.
Okay, and then just let me do a verifying count. It
Yep.
matters, so 30. This is where the terrain gets difficult. So you just
Once I
using your
grab
movement
her.
now, or you're dashing right away?
Yeah, I'm using my regular movement now,
Okay.
which is 80 normally.
All right, so 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 would get you beside her.
Okay.
And then you're picking her up.
Then I am picking. Then I'm picking her up,
Okay.
and then I'm going to dash into the corner where Eve is.
Where Bona is?
Oh, actually, I'm going to pick her up and dash to the other corner, the like F3 or something like that over there.
This, F3 back there?
Yeah, way in the back corner. I want to make sure it's outside the range of the corruption.
Okay, so it was 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 of your movement has been used so far.
Yeah, now I'm using my dash action with her on me, which gives me another 160 with no impact to difficult terrain.
Oh, okay. Then, problem.
If she was awake, she'd be going, wee!
Maybe she is anyway.
She's in the corner.
And then, am I allowed to? Is my dropping my sword a free action? If I wanted to throw a javelin, so I could stay in range, I have to stay in rage mode. I have to attack it. So.
Yep, you can drop your sword as a free action. Now you used your action to dash. You're using
I
your
still have an action left.
hasted action to attack.
Yeah.
Yep. Then you could draw your javelin as part of the attack.
Okay, so then I will throw my javelin at it with my sword on the ground.
Okay. I'm going to put a black mark here right beside you for your sword, a black gem.
Okay.
And what's the range on the javelin? Are you at disadvantage?
The javelin is giving me... I'm going to switch it because I trapped it. It's got me it's going to be long range. It's 30 or 120. So.
Okay, so it's a disadvantage.
Oh, disadvantage. Yep. Come on, big numbers, big numbers. That's a 10. Well, 15.
Sails wide. Does not strike the intended target. Does that end Havoc's turn?
That ends Havoc's turn, yes.
Okay. At the end of Havoc's turn, the creature will use its third and final legendary action to spit bile once again. The initial target is Jinzik.
Last spear.
Fate Sphere used. Getting down to it. That is a 1. That is...
I got nothing.
Ivusar. As a big old wad of goo comes flying towards Ivusar. So I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Alright. That's an 18.
18. The DC is a 20, unfortunately. So you are struck by this bile that was squirted at you.
I'll be down. That's it. I'm down.
For 32 acid damage.
Oh, then I'm dead.
That's insta-kill.
Yeah. Okay, Eve, is there anything that you know of within the rules of Crucible of Fate that can keep you from death here at this moment?
Nothing.
Okay, then as the acid strikes into you, you fall backwards as the acid begins to burn through your chest and through your vital organs as you are killed at this point. So I'm sorry, Ken, but Ivusar has been eliminated from the Crucible of Fate.
I don't have any sunglasses, but I'll be back.
Awesome. Yeah.
Well played, sir.
Really good.
And we definitely look forward to seeing you in PvP, man. And great job tonight. I will be in touch tomorrow just to check in. But yeah, that's it for tonight. Anything anyone wants to say, or anything you want to say, Ken?
Nope.
Good game, sir.
Good game.
I just don't have any words for this. I mean, I kind of expected the third level was going to be hard for me.
Just with the build and everything, you mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. As I got up, I would have evened out with some of the other characters, but the third level is just going to be hard for me.
Cool. Well, you played really well, man, and great character.
No, I screwed up. I screwed up real bad. I made one fatal mistake, but did it, done it, take it.
Cool. Okay, then we will catch you in PvP. We'll catch you in the Discord server. Thanks very much, Ken.
Thank you.
Okay, take care.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you, yes.
Holy shit, I'm not dead.
Almost.
You're not dead.
I'm just paralyzed.
You're not dead yet.
I tried real hard.
You're not dead yet.
I thought for sure I was goner.
Okay, so that was the creature's last legendary action after Havoc's turn. So at this point, portals open beside all of you, and as a free action in initiative order, you can choose to go through. So Bona, do you choose to go through the portal at this time?
I don't know if I can ask this question, but does everyone get the opportunity to go through the portal, whether they are conscious or not?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, because if I need to, I'll try to take Angor in, but if he's going to have his opportunity, then I will step through the portal, I suppose.
No, unconscious contestants get pulled through.
Okay, then I will step through the portal.
All right, so Bona
What if they're in a bag?
gets pulled.
I'm imagining that right now, so
It's the bag rolling on its own.
yeah, no, like
Yeah.
So next on the list is Angor. Angor gets pulled through. Then we have Eve, who did, dissolving away in a puddle of acid. Havoc, do you wish to go through the portal as a free action?
I do. But one question: can I grab my sword, or does I have that I dropped, or does it get pulled in with me?
If you go through as a free action, you leave your sword behind. You can choose until it's your turn, and then you can go through. This is just an immediate opportunity to go through the portal currently.
Ooh, heavy.
I'm going to stay the character. He's not going to leave without his sword.
Okay, no problem. Havoc stays on the board. Oridon, do you go through or stay?
because paralyzed is like I cannot do a thing.
It's if you like mentally say that you want to go through, you'll get pulled through.
Okay, then yes, I will go through.
Right, Oridon gets pulled through, and Jinzik gets pulled through. This now leaves us with one player on the board and one monster on the board.
I think I'm next in the initiative order. But he's got a legendary action, unfortunately.
You hope you're next in the initiative order.
Well, you just went in the initiative order, right? You grabbed.
Yeah, and he went right before. He goes right after me, right?
Yeah. So it is now the creature's turn.
That must be a great, great sword.
Seeing all of these creatures disappearing from his lair, it turns towards you, floating its 20 feet closer. Which is its maximum movement. Okay. And for its action, it begins casting. And you hear in your mind a voice say,
"Approach."
As it casts command at you. I need you to make a charisma save. DC 21.
No need. And I'll end it with an exclamation.
Whoa! I would use my fate spell to reroll that.
Okay. So with that command spell, just for everyone at home. So the creature spoke a one-word command, which was approach. Failing the saving throw, you must follow the command on your next turn. With approach, you have to move towards the creature by the shortest and most direct route. That is the end of his turn. In round 3. It is now your turn, Havoc, in round 4.
Okay. So I have to move toward him initially, right? But then I have a second action, right?
So the target moves toward you by the shortest and most direct route, ending its turn if it moves within 5 feet of you.
Oh, so I have to move within 5 feet of it.
Yeah.
I don't get a second action then.
Hey, if you want to pick up your sword, there's nothing in it that says you can't do object interactions while you're carrying out the command.
Well, he's here for the sword, so he's gonna grab his sword.
Okay.
And equip with that.
You pick up the sword. Your rage drops.
Does it still drop?
Well, you end your turn there, right?
Not because I can't attack. I have to move. Could I attack with the javelin and then pick up the sword to not lose the rage?
Did you take any damage?
I did not. On that last one, he just gave me a spell. No damage.
It doesn't say that you can't attack. It doesn't say you can't attack.
So I'm just gonna, while walking, I'm gonna throw my javelin, grab my sword, and then go say hello.
Okay. Yeah. Let's have your attack roll with your javelin.
Get that javelin out of the way. 18.
18. You hurl the javelin. It's going straight towards the creature, but with a flick of its chain, it deflects it up and over. Your javelin misses.
Okay. Then I use free action to grab my great sword, and then I walk on up to say howdy, partner.
All right. At the end of your turn, it's going to use a legendary action for another command. I need a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom or charisma?
Command is wisdom.
Oh, okay. Last time I think it was a
Oh, okay,
charisma.
hold on. Do a wisdom save then, because it was the wrong roll that was used.
Oh, from before?
Yeah.
Okay. We gotta get a natural 20 to hit a 21,
All
right?
right, so nothing changed. So now it is giving you another command.
And I've got to try again here.
20.
Oh.
14. 14, as you hear the command. According to...
Pardon me? Was that grovel?
Grovel. Yeah, grovel. The target falls prone and ends its turn. Hope it was a good sword, man. Okay. It is now your... No, that was the end of your turn that used a legendary action. It is now its turn.
And I'm prone. But I'm within 5 feet, so he gets advantage.
Well, it's not your... That was at the end of your turn that he did that, so you have to do your next turn doing this.
Oh, my next turn. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. I go prone the next turn.
So it's
If there
now
is a next turn.
his turn. I'm being kind here. I'm going to use he's going to cast Dispel Magic. What level is your haste?
It
was
it's whatever the default, so it's probably the default.
Okay.
It's a 3rd level spell, so which is usually a 5th level character would cast that.
Okay, well, I'm gonna get him to do a... Charisma. That's a 12 that he rolled. Level his haste. Haste is 3rd level. Third level. The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level, which is a 13. So he fails to dispel your haste from your potion. It's now your turn. You have to grovel.
So I will grovel, or I have to get down to prone. Then I'm going to use half my movement to get back up, right?
It says under the grovel...
Oh, I have to stop immediately. It turns over at that point.
It ends your turn there, yeah.
I have to grovel first? I have to immediately grovel? Or do I have to grovel by the end of my turn?
It just says that you have to spend your next turn doing it, and it just says the target falls prone and ends its turn.
Okay.
Yep. At the end of your turn, he's going to use a legendary action, and he's going to spit bile at you. So I need a dexterity saving throw.
I still am hasted though, right? So I have advantage on that?
Yep. But no longer...
that ain't gonna matter anyway.
Yeah, but no longer raging, right?
Can I use a fate sphere to try to reroll that?
Yeah, definitely.
Also, I think you have advantage because of danger sense.
Yep, that's true too.
Yeah.
But it's still
stack.
same
So
result.
either way.
Yeah.
So
you can reroll.
I'm doing it again.
Yeah, another fate sphere.
Come on. I've got to use my last one.
Yep.
Yes!
Hey, there you go. With your last one, you make the save.
Man.
And although you're graveling, you roll out of the way as the acid hits the ground and misses you completely. That ends his legendary action for the round. It is now his turn. And on his turn, I'm honestly trying to do what's easiest for you here on this. Multi-attack would mean he'd get 4 attacks on you.
You can do it, Havoc.
I appreciate the pity of the dungeon master. The guy that stubbornly had to take his sword with him.
He might pay the price. Okay. He is gonna cast Feeble Mind at you. I need a... I need an intelligence saving throw.
All right, with a -1, this will be good.
Yeah, so there's no way for you to pass that.
Even with a 19.
So, first thing that happens is that you take... $11 psychic damage.
Which I am not immune to. So we're not resistant to. Okay.
Both your intelligence and charisma scores become 1.
The number?
Yeah.
Okay. They're both 1. Okay.
You can't cast spells, you can't activate magic items, you can't understand language or communicate in any intelligible way. However, you can identify your friends, follow them, and even protect them. And it is now your turn.
Am I able to dash into the portal?
Yeah, since he failed to dispel your haste, you are able to get up and feeble-mindedly dash through the portal and therefore survive Hunter and Hunted.
Is he within that 30 feet?
What's that?
Is he within that 30 feet to
the start of my turn?
Oh, at the start of your turn? Yeah, that is true. Yeah, we can't...
poison damage, right?
Can't forget that. Yeah. Just let me check my sheet, though. Havoc is immune to the warp creature, not to the poison. So I need a Constitution save.
Okay.
You got this. Nat 20, here it comes.
+4.
Oh!
9.
It was sitting there at an 18 and then rolled back.
Okay.
So I'm going to take some poison damage. But I should only be half, right? Because of my rage.
You're not currently raging.
Oh, that's right, because I couldn't do an attack. You're right, I'm out of rage.
So that is 20 poison damage.
I gotta take it. I have no space spheres, but that puts me as one of the things will automatically suck me through when I die.
No, that's only when it appears, when you're right beside it. It's over in the corner. So with that 20, I can see you have 17 hit points left. Is there anything that gives you resistance to poison damage outside of your rage?
Just the rage is the only thing that would do that. Nothing else in my inventory. The only other thing I have is another potion.
Okay. Then in that case, man, I would say with the groveling, the rage would have dropped. So it is 20 damage to 17, which would drop you. So that's at the beginning of your turn. At the end of your turn, again, I'll try and just... it's either the 4 attacks at advantage that are all crits, or Squirt Bile, which is 1 attack. So you automatically fail Dex saving throws, I believe. Just gonna double check that. You can't take actions or reactions. You're unconscious.
You will get to make death saves though. If he rolls a 20, he could get 1 hit point up.
Yeah. So you automatically fail this dex save. So you're gonna have to take this hit for the full damage.
Which is not more than 42.
It's 31. So that is a fail.
Yep.
I'm just gonna put you back here. It is a crit because you're within 5 feet, even though it's a ranged attack. It's an attack within 5 feet, so that is a crit. So that's 2. So this is it, man. If you roll a natural 20, you get up at the beginning of your turn, and you can go through the portal. If you don't roll a natural 20,
it's been a pleasure.
So let's have this roll.
It could happen.
It could happen.
It could happen.
5% of the time, it works every time.
Let's see here. Let's go. Yes!
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. You get up at the beginning of your turn.
Awesome.
I am up and I am dashing toward that portal. I'm running for that portal because I'm no longer.
Congratulations.
I'm not used to being right. Oh wait, am I still?
There's one thing I want to check behind the scenes here, guys, and I'm sorry, I'm just trying to keep it legit. I know with potions, I think they persist while you're unconscious, but I have to check. No concentration required. So it would persist. You would still have it. You stand up, you're in difficult terrain, but you could get through. Unbelievably, you managed to get the sword and get to your portal and escape Hunter and Hunted. Crazy. So congratulations, guys, to the 5 of you for surviving Hunter and Hunted. What an unbelievable finish. I thought for sure you were going to die. Man, natural 20 to stand up at the beginning of your turn. Crazy. Anything you guys have to say at this point?
It was an awesome episode.
It was a blast. And I'm really, really a lucky bastard because I did not lose any health. Really any health.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously. I did not get hit by anything.
I have a question, and I feel so bad that I'm about to ask this, but did Havoc pick up his sword when he sprinted through?
Yeah, he picked it up on the way towards the creature. Yeah.
Going through all that surviving.
He was feeble-minded, so he wouldn't have thought to get it, and he wouldn't have even had a sword. But no, this was tough for me because I'm like, if playing in character, he would go on his sword.
Yeah.
Knowing what Crucible of Fate's all about, I should have went out the door, but I could always buy it there. But I'm like, I gotta play the character. Hopefully, it was entertaining.
Oh yeah, well, you live and die by the dice, and I'd say this was a pretty entertaining way for the dice to roll. So, thanks very much to you guys. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll catch you in part 2 next week. All right, enjoy a nice long rest, everybody.